Good morning, English 1102 students, and welcome to the newest week of English 1102 in the summer semester. All right, so I got a few things I want to talk about in this video. First of all, remember that Friday, June the 26th, is when the annotated bibliography is due. Now, I am aware that the D2L sometimes shuts down for maintenance on Friday nights. So before you send me a desperate email with an attachment telling me, "Oh, I couldn't submit my essay because D2L was down," just submit it on Saturday morning. That'll be perfectly fine. I'm not going to be up at midnight on Friday night looking at the computer going, "Oh, who's late?" I don't do that. So try to get it in before, say, 11 o'clock on Friday night so that you can have the weekend. If for whatever reason you are a last-minute procrastinator and you wait until the final minute, I wouldn't recommend that on these annotated bibliographies anyway. But if you are, then go ahead and submit it Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon or whenever, and then I'll read them over the weekend. Well, actually, I won't read them over the weekend. I will actually not be in town from Wednesday through Saturday night, so I won't be back in town until Sunday morning. So that's something to remember also, is that I won't be keeping office hours on Wednesday or Thursday this week because I won't be in Albany. I'll be in Indianapolis, of all places. So if you have any questions, you can still email me, and I'll get to them in as timely a fashion as I can. Just bear in mind that as timely a fashion as I can might be about midnight or something on Thursday night or Friday night or something like that. So just fair warning there. If you stop by my office on on Wednesday or Thursday, I won't be there. Now, if you stop by during Monday or Tuesday, then you'll probably catch me during my office hours, but not on Wednesday or Thursday. All right, so the poetry essays, I have given them all a first reading. I don't give grades until I've read an essay twice. The first time I go through it, I start marking little surface errors. So if you go in and start looking at your essays now, you will likely see a whole bunch of blue bubbles, or hopefully, if you've done a good job, only a couple of blue bubbles. And then you'll see that I've started the actual breakdown of the grades on things that I could see at a glance, which is the structure and the thesis statement and so on. So those have been given numbers, but I haven't completed the grading yet. Today is Monday. I'd like to try and complete them all today, although realistically I think it'll probably be tomorrow, which is Tuesday. I will have them all done before Tuesday evening, because then I will be gone on Wednesday through Saturday. So I've almost got those graded. If you're thinking about doing your research paper on the poetry essay, send me an email and say, "Mr. Smith, I want to do my email on my poetry essay. Please finish grading it right away." I'll get right to it. Go ahead and give you your grade, and you will know whether that's the essay you want to write your research paper on or not. Remember that the annotated bibliography, I have handouts in the research paper folder on that. I also have a sample annotated bibliography that shows exactly what my expectations are going to be. It's on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I think, but the fact is, it's an annotated bibliography that you can look at and say, "Oh, Mr. Smith wants us to have an MLA entry. Mr. Smith wants us to say what's in the piece," without plagiarizing, by the way. So don't copy and paste the abstract, because if you do that, you'll fail. And then oh, he says, "I'm going to use this too." So go ahead and take a look at that as well. So that is the annotated bibliography, and that's due on Friday. Also, one last note before I go. The deadline to drop this class is next Monday, June 29th. If you're watching this video and if you've turned in both your first two essays, you shouldn't have to worry about dropping the class. You should be fine. Unless you got 60s on both of the first two essays, then you may want to consider taking this again in the fall when you have more time to finish it. If you write me an email and you say, "Mr. Smith, I'm worried about this class, should I drop it?" I'll give you an honest answer. If you did not turn in your first two essays, I'll say absolutely drop this class. If you got 60s on the first two essays, I might say, you might want to consider taking this over 17 weeks instead of taking it over 8. If you're doing well, even if your essays both got C's, I'm going to say stay with the class. Stick with me till the end. Also, as I read the first draft, as I read the first readings of these poetry essays, I noticed a few things. One is that I noticed that some writers did improve from the prose to the poetry, and that tells me that those writers probably read the comments that I made on the prose essay and took them to heart and actually applied them in a poetry essay. And that's what this class is about. This class is about showing improvement from essay to essay. Now, some students may have backslid a little bit on this poetry essay. Now, if you backslid a lot, that's inexcusable. But if you backslid a little bit, that's not all that surprising, because poetry is more difficult to write about than a short story is. That's why we start with the short story and then we go to the poetry. Some of you showed no improvement whatsoever. Those students are students that I believe did not even bother to open up the prose essay and read what I had to say there. That is actually counterproductive, because the purpose of this class is for you to learn from your mistakes and get better. If you did poorly on that first essay, but you did well on the second one, and you're going to continue to do well, you're going to be fine in this class. And I will take improvement into account as I figure out final grades. If you show me no improvement and you have to take this class again in the fall, well, that means you didn't get anything out of it because you didn't put anything into it. And it's always been the case that students that put effort into the class, more often than not, in fact a lot more often than not, end up passing the class. Some students actually put forth the effort and fail, but that's because they need the extra help and it doesn't hurt them to take another semester of English 1102. But usually students who try really hard and show improvement do get out of this class. And one more comment I want to make about these first readings on the poetry essays. It was clear to me that some of you didn't even bother to open up the quoting poetry handout that I had included in the research paper folder, and then I emailed you about it later. Any student who cited their poems by page numbers clearly did not open up that handout, because it states clearly, do not cite by page number, cite by line number. Any student that did not put a slash to show where the line breaks are clearly did not open up that quoting poetry handout. So I can only put the stuff on D2L. I can only give you the resources on D2L. I cannot do your work for you, and I will not do your work for you. It is up to you, the student, to put forth a little bit of effort also and try to learn from this class. And if you try to learn from this class, you might accidentally learn something. But those of you that cited by page numbers instead of line numbers, clearly you're not putting forth the effort. So that's it. That's all I have. Again, Monday and Tuesday I should get back to you in a timely fashion. If you email me or if you stop by my office, you should find me there. Wednesday through Saturday, or let's say Wednesday through Sunday, really. It will be harder to reach me because I will be out of town at a convention, but I will be back next Monday and things will be back to business as usual. And until then, happy writing.